Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hooman-Sadeh. I'm a faculty at Utica University in New York. I'm here to present our paper on behalf of all my co-authors, which is on technological solutions to the labor problems or shortages in the construction industry, which is a global problem. We were looking at, specifically looking at technology, innovation, and also productivity. This was a multi-university effort, 4 universities: Utica University, Politecnico di Milano, Virginia Tech, and Cal State East Bay, and included 5-6 authors altogether. So to give you a little background and basically tell you what the problem is, as you know, we are facing a globally we're facing labor shortages in the construction industry. This is, however, not something new. This happens every few years, 5 to 10 years, because the construction is tied directly with the economy. So basically, economy goes through cycles. When things go down, construction slows down, and vice versa. When the economy is doing good, you know, there is a boom. You have a lot of work, a lot of added value. But besides from that, there are other factors. So for example, the U.S. Department of Labor estimates that the U.S. needs around 240,000 new workers. And then the global numbers reached $11.4 trillion in 2018, and is estimated to go up to $14 trillion by 2025. So as you can see, there is a lot of demand also. So that means more workers. The industry desperately needs more workers. And then as far as the technology, and again, this is not, we all know that this is nothing new, as construction is not really, you know, advanced, has not made that much advancements in terms of technology comparing with other sectors. So some of the problems in terms of the shortages of labor or the aging workforce, that's one. You have a lot of older people that are retiring and need to be replaced. We have people that are forced into early retirement because of injuries. And then we have another problem right now, according to the literature, is the difficulty attracting new people coming in, especially the new generation. You know, construction is a tough job, especially people who work in the field. I wouldn't want to do it myself either. So that these are the challenges right now. You know, the younger generation, they see other industries, maybe more money, maybe more attractive. You wear a tie and a suit. And then we also have training. Training in work places are not that good, especially when it comes to technology. I worked personally for a few different contractors back in the day, and there was not much of a training. And again, increased demand for construction. We have an aging infrastructure as well, and as well as, you know, population increase. And for example, in the U.S., President Biden just signed, well, not just, but last year, the infrastructure bill for $1.2 or $3 trillion. So that requires a lot of people. So these are the problems, basically. This is a little background of why there is a shortage globally, Europe too, Asia. So we wanted to look into if the contractors are leveraging basically technology to mitigate the labor shortages. You hear that a lot today. You know, people usually, you know, they're scared, especially with artificial intelligence. So my job's going away. What's going to happen? So we want to see if the companies are using technology to make up for the labor shortages. And then this study was part of a larger study that is being implemented, but these are the preliminary results just related to technology. So these were the two research questions basically that we wanted to answer. I already went over the first one, and the second one is deals with productivity and the firm size to see if the firms that use technology have any, does that basically impact productivity, and also how does the size of the firms impact productivity. So we set up two hypotheses. The first research question was of exploratory nature, so these are for the second research question. And then the methodology we used was a survey instrument. It was based on a structured online questionnaire. And then we used a statistical analysis to analyze the data and reach our conclusions. So the questionnaire was distributed on 3 campuses actually in the US, Utica University. During our CM Expo, we have contractors come in every year for recruitment. So we use that. We typically get about 26 to 30. And then as well as Virginia Tech and California, Cal State East Bay. So off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I think in total there were 270 contractors that attended these job fairs. And then I believe we received around 100 responses, out of which 86 were complete. So we had a response rate of 73.6. No, actually it was 92. I misspoke. It was about 92 responses that we received. So there was, the questionnaire was included close-end questions, yes and no, Likert scale, and to give you just a little information about the respondents, these are the different roles they had. We had project managers, field engineers, superintendents, the management, upper management, BIM specialists, and then the years of experience of the respondents. I wouldn't say majority, but a good number of them, 36 of them, had less than 5 years of experience. And we had around 20 and more that had more than 21 years of experience. And then firm size, as you can see, we had a good proportion from medium to big and large. Only 7 companies that had small contractors. And different trades. We had commercial, industrial, institutional, heavy civil, and mixed-use contractors for the study. So the results, as you can see, this was based on the frequencies. The most technology being utilized were the drones, 58, almost 59%. And followed by the second one was prefabrication. So those were the 2 highest technologies being utilized. And digital twins, speaking of that, was the least, 16.4. And I don't really think the contractors don't really know what it is. If you ask them, I mean, you guys are the expert, you know that. So, this was interesting. And then moving on, so for the first question, to basically create a profile of the contractors, we use these 4 variables of firm size, technology usage, type of project they work, and also their productivity. and we achieved 5 clusters. The largest cluster was cluster, I can't see here, cluster number 4, as you can see. 25.6% of the sample was in the first cluster. Those were the medium contractors from 50 to 250 employees. They all use technology 100%, and then mostly commercial projects, 88%. And the productivity the range was pretty much similar across all clusters. The highest was the large firms, as you can see, in cluster 5, which is 7.47. That's the highest, but the rest were pretty much balanced, or 6.9 range. And cluster 4 was the largest one. And then moving on was cluster number 3, which is the firms that had between 500 to 1,000 employees, and they also used technology. So what was different in all these clusters was the cluster number 2, which is not surprising. I mean, that's typical. Cluster number 2, which had the small firms, they did not, majority of the sample did not use technology, 92.3%. And they had the lowest productivity, which is known in literature. I mean, this is nothing new as far as the smaller firms, but we just confirmed that here, again, as part of this study. So for research question number 2, we used 2 different techniques. The first one was the Mann-Whitney test that we used. We wanted to see if there was a relationship between technology usage and the productivity of the firms. So basically the firms that use technology versus the ones that didn't, and also the productivity level. So the relationship was significant. The p-value is less than 0.05, as you can see. And the mean rank of the firms that use technology was higher than the ones that don't. And then for the second hypothesis, we want to see if there was a correlation between the firm size and productivity, and this was also confirmed. We went with the alternative hypothesis because the p-value is small, less than 0.05. But the correlation is not that strong. As you can see, it's kind of like a weak correlation. 0.215 is not really that much, but it's still. So, in conclusion, we, as I stated earlier, drones and prefabrications were the highest percentage of technologies that are being utilized by the construction contractors to mitigate the labor shortages, which makes sense. And also we found the relationship between the firms that use technology and productivity, and as well as the smaller firms that do not utilize technology. It was confirmed that they have a lower productivity, as I stated earlier. Some of the limitations I can mention about the study is that because of the fact that this was not so much random sampling, so it could have bias because of basically this was conducted on university campuses, and those companies that attend those job fairs could have a tendency to hire, students from higher ed that are more educated and technological savvy. So that was one limitation, obviously. And then second limitation is because it was based on the respondents' responses. That also has bias. So when they're self-reporting their productivity, obviously, that could impact the results. Future studies, we suggest that should focus on actually measuring the productivity in the field based on the hours and maybe check that versus this study to see how accurate it is. And also what we are working on as the next step is finding what the firms are doing in terms of retention, recruitment. Are they paying the workers enough? What are the health benefits? Do they have childcare? Flexible schedules? And if they're doing that, is it working to retain the workers? And as far as recruitment, same thing. This was part of, as I said, part of the bigger questionnaire, which includes, are they going to high schools? Are they advertising their work online? Are they, what are they doing? And is it working? So those are the focus for the future studies. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available if you have any questions.